From the helicopter carrier, the USS Guam. Steaming off the coast of Beirut, Lebanon, the USS Fort Snelling.
You know, we're taping for an NBC show that goes on January the 15th. And when you ride home, just tell them that you'll be seen on January the 15th. So when the camera's on, you look happy, for God's sake.
Just don't put it on Golden.
We did a show last night on the Guam. On the, We did a show on the Guam last night at 8 o'clock. And then we did another show today for some more Marines that came in. And at what time? 11:30 till about 1:30.
I want double, one or two pictures.
Look at this action. Look at, nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Look at it. Get all the stuff up there, will you? By the time they get up, these guys will be asleep. Huh? Yeah, I can read pretty good, yeah. Yeah. See that, they're getting the idiot cards up there. It's the first time that the idiot's been ready before the cars. Huh? Thank you. Thank you. There he goes. Chief Davis, can I see you, please? Have you guys had Liberty at all at Beirut? No? How long have you been on this trip? How long? That's not what I asked you. How long?
A couple months!
Down in front!
What's that? The other one was taking. Come on, you guys, man. Everyone else back here.
Caddy, pick up that ball and follow me. Stay there.
Yeah, I bet them girls will be out on the stage in a minute.
Is that on an hors d'oeuvre table or not? They look like they're auditioning or something. They're hired, they say. Anyway, are you rolling? Tell us when you're rolling. And when I walk on here, make believe you haven't seen me before. And you're so thrilled.
Hey, did you put fresh batteries in this? Put fresh batteries in? Don't get out of the way. Steve Young.
Hey, this is going to make a hell of a shot, though. This is a little different, isn't it? Because we're not going to get a chance to get on the flight deck. Oh, we'd be on the flight deck on the Independence and the JFK, huh? No, not a JFK, no, we'd be on the toilet. These two Hell's Angels were driving along. They ran into this nun with a broken arm, and one of the Hell's Angels said, "What happened?" And the nun said, "I fell in the bath." So they walked away, and one Hell Angel said to the other, said, "What's the bath?" The other one said, "How the hell do I know? I'm not Catholic." Are you rolling? You're kidding. All right, here I come.
All right, guys, let's hear it for our star, Bob Hope.
Not too long, it sounds phony. Here we are just off Beirut. There it is, right, Beirut, right there. We're on the USS Fort Snelling, crewed by the famous Snelling salts. That's your line, Barney. Otherwise known as the dirty Dirty 30 or the Crunch Bunch. They have an alias for almost every port. Their own port for every assault aircraft, except the shore patrols. I feel great. I've only been on the ship one day, and already I drank 2 cans of beer. I asked for more. They said, come back in 44 days. And I hear the Pentagon has a new secret weapon out here. They're going to dispose all Syria with the XOs, pump and dump. Well, I'll tell you, it's great to be with the 6th Fleet, also known as part of the Peace Corps that goes bang, bang. And to be on the safe side, I had my trip blessed by Charlton Heston, Danny Thomas, and George Burns. George Burns would have been with us today, but he was very busy at the Playboy Club in Hollywood. And he also had to go over to Hollywood High School and wait for his girl. Isn't he wonderful? They got a new George Burns doll now. You wind it up and it takes a nap. 87 years old. It's the only thing that keeps me going. I'm going as long as he does. Believe me when I tell you. The other day, it was his 87th birthday, and he sent a girl up to his room to entertain him, and the girl said, what do you want me to do? He said, draw the tub. She filled the tub, and George got in. He said, what do you want me to do now? I said, make some waves. She made some waves. She said, what do you want me to do now? I said, make some thunder. She went boom, 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 boom. She said, what do you want me to do now? I said, make some lightning. She walked over the electric light switch and flashed it on and off. She said, what do you want me to do now? She said, make some more waves. She said, don't you want to make love? He said, what, in a storm like this? Fellas, I'm over here. Look, over here. They're overlooking the girls. I'm talking to the girls. Watch me once in a while, huh? Hey, I don't think I made a big hit with the officer the day who piped me aboard. He just glared when I asked, where do we go to play shuffleboard? That's what he said. I didn't think it was funny anyway. Captain Taylor was very impressed with me. As soon as we met, he took me up to the poop deck and made me an honorary poop. But you know, we're in a part of the world right here where Santa uses a tail gunner on his sleigh. We're right off the coast from Beirut, better known as Dodge City. Throw those cards overboard, will you, for God's sake? Beirut, that's an Arabian word meaning everybody out of here. It's been a while since I've entertained servicemen, but Washington told me if we can bring ships out of mothballs, why not you? The USO sponsored our tour. I've been working with the USO ever since we sneaked mucklucks into our troops at Valley Forge. But it's really great to be here. This year I didn't even need a passport to get out of the country. They just labeled me toxic waste. I just got a call and my luggage arrived safely. Can anyone direct me to the Shoof Mountains?
Over there, right over there.
Oh, the hell with it. Hey, we're especially happy to be here during the 181st ceasefire in Lebanon. Maybe now I'll be able to take off my bulletproof jockey shorts. And it's okay if some of these jokes bomb. We'll just load them into a 5-incher and fire them into the hills, that's all. No, I love the Navy. My family has a long naval history, if you're interested in long navals. My family is a naval family. My uncle Scuttlebutt Hope was first officer on the Titanic. He was also first officer off the Titanic. That didn't come out till the trial. Uncle Scuttlebutt may have been responsible for the whole thing. He was mixing cocktails on the bridge just before the disaster, and he told the helmsman he wanted lots of ice. Now, my family is rich in naval tradition. My great-grandfather, John Paul Hope, made naval history. He lost his marbles 100 years before Captain Queeg. Remember these cards that bomb and throw them the hell out of there tomorrow, will you? I've always admired the Navy because of my grandfather. He was a famous naval hero who uttered those immortal words, I have not yet begun to fight. And you know he never did. You may have heard about him, Admiral Tuna, the chicken of the sea. He was in command of the first United States submarine, and although when they gave it to him, it was a destroyer. He was awarded the Navy Cross. They dropped it to him on a fish line. Then there was my great-great-grandfather, John Paul Hope, who said, don't give up the ship. He was with the cavalry at the time. It's one of the things that got him out. And my Uncle Farragut Hope handled all the Kleenex for Captain Hornblower. Are you following me? Admiral Hornblower. On a windy night, you could hear him sneeze for 30 miles. And it was one of my ancestors, Abandoned Ship Hope, who first uttered those immortal words, "Damn the torpedoes, let's get the hell out of here." I've always had a soft spot in my head for the Navy. My son Kelly was a frogman. A fact which the draft board determined when they noticed his webbed feet. Are these frogs sitting up there? Hi, frogs. Nice looking frog's legs. My son insisted on joining the Navy. He was tired of people saying he didn't have all his buttons. You ever hear such silence on a boat? You can at least breathe. No, he graduated from boot camp in San Diego, and he really learned a lot. He now owns the biggest floating crap game in North Hollywood. After the Navy, he had a rough time getting used to being home again. We finally had to bunk him on a bookshelf and pour his soup through his ear. I once tried to run the Navy, but I didn't qualify. I get seasick just using my water pick. And this whole show has been done according to... It is ours, isn't it? This whole show is being done according to Navy tradition, which worries me a little. I may have to go down with the jokes. But I'm very happy to be here on the USS Las Vegas. The officers think it has another name, but we know better, don't we? Captain told me there's no gambling allowed on this ship. That's what the captain told me. And I thought I was the only comedian in this area. But there's great spirit in the Navy. Everybody is Mr. It might even be more spirit if a few of them were Mrs. I love the terminology in the Navy, like they pipe you aboard. That's funny. That makes you feel liquid all over. And with a sailor returning from leave, I can understand it. When you don't get any liberty, that joke lays right there like a big bomb, I'll tell you that. And let's go topside. Has anyone ever gone bottom side? Man the crow's nest. Well, naturally, you can't crow the man's nest. And you ever hear anything so impressive sounding as stand by below to the man in the pumps? Wouldn't it be easier to say, grab a mop, there's a leak in the cellar? I got some very confidential news. They're keeping this trip quiet for security reasons. Mine. I told my wife I was just going out Christmas shopping. And it's okay with the checkout lines at the store. She won't expect me home till New Year's anyway. President Reagan had a tough decision to make. He was either going to send peacekeeping forces here or to Macy's. Macy's is a big department store in New York. So consider yourselves lucky. You guys could be fighting for peace in women's lingerie. You think there's fighting going on home? You think there's fighting going on here? Back home, Reagan had to call out the National Guard to protect the cabbage patch. Now that's a war zone. But I'm not worried. I got on a bulletproof vest, and not that I'm scared, it's just sentimental. It's the same one I used to wear in vaudeville. That doesn't play after jockey shorts, you know. I'll send you a small dose of adrenaline later, so you... How's the LSD on here, all right? Did you see where they fired? Did you see where they sentenced those 3 Kansas City ball players for taking stuff? Did you read about that? Yeah. They were catching pop flies before they came down. They have a hell of a thing. Basketball players are taking it. I mean, why would a guy 7'2" want to get any higher? I don't know. And the jockeys at Santa Anita, they found out they were taking the other day. 5 jockeys finished ahead of the horses. And they were smoking their whips. I don't know how people can take that stuff. Geez, when I was a kid, I thought it was daring to take Sen, you know? I mean, we got a little club out in North Hollywood. It's a little dull. We get together every Saturday night, you know. George Burns, Lawrence Welk, myself, and a couple of older fellas. And we hold hands and try to contact the living.